Okay, so these are my latest eBay finds. This RCA here, this RCA here. They both use the same voltage, 90 volts for the plate, and the filaments are 9 volts. So I'm going to rebuild this battery here using 6 D batteries as my 9 volt, and I'm going to use 10 9-volt batteries for my 90 volt. Before rebuilding the battery, we're going to do a quick test using 10 of these with alligator clips for our 90 volts and 1 alkaline 9 volt for the filaments. We're going to see if that radio works before we go any further. Okay, so we've got our 10 9 volts. We are on the 90 volt scale and we are showing at 100% good. And for test purposes, we're on the 9 volt scale, and that single 9 volt is showing good. So let's see if we have a working radio.
On bringing a challenge.
Okay, this radio definitely works.
If does go through with that,
now we're going to go back to the other one because the other one didn't work. So it may have a bad tube.
Could obviously be
this one definitely works.
Updated to address that as well.
Let's talk about the grounds for your suit. Are you?
Yes, sir. What is surrounded?
That's what I.
Board certified internal medicine, went on to Harvard Medical School, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, trained for 3 years, was on the staff, treating thousands of patients with cancer at the illustrious Dana.
This one works too. So we're going to rebuild that battery now. Okay, so now we're on to building the negative and positive supplies, the plate and the filament supplies. This is going to be filament voltage 9 volts. It is replacing 6 F cells, the capacity of these alkalines as opposed to these carbon zincs. These are probably have higher capacity anyway than those originally did. Okay, so here is our 9 volt pack. And it's showing good. Okay, so the 9 volt portion has now been connected. So now it's time to hook up the 90 volt portion. Okay, so we're partially built here. We've got 9 volts on the 9 volt scale. You can see that coming right out of that battery connector. So if you look carefully, you can see my 10 9 volts snapped together. I'm about to glue this shut, but I want to make sure it's working first. So I'm satisfied with that. On the 90 volt scale, we're showing good. So that 90 volts. And the same story for the 9 volt. So you can see this is rebuilt. We just have to glue that end shut. And there she is working. Let's see if we can get her closed up.
There's no reason you should miss a snap of this game tomorrow because, again, you got to get up early for Beth. Or
hey, it's free and you get something in your email.
So there's one survivor with a rebuilt battery pack. Very happy with that.
Small group, basically live action seminar where you kind of do these simulations.
Definitely working well. For this radio, I'm just going to do a quick and dirty hookup so that it can play on display. So again, this is going to be a quick and dirty hookup. I tested this radio earlier. I know it works. I'm just going to do a quick and dirty connection here. We are going to be using this for our 9 volt filament supply, 6 AA's, which will last some time. And then we're going to use in here, I buy them very inexpensively on Amazon, 3 volt lithium button cells. And I can get about almost 70 volts in there. This radio calls for 90, but it will play very happily on 70, as you'll see shortly. First connection is made. That wire looks yellow on film, but to my eyes it looks white. The beige one's the high voltage. I know from before when I hooked this radio up. Okay, so we got our solder connections going. Now we're going to add our batteries. And this is where I derive my high voltage from these type cells, the CR2032s. Before I completely tape that up, that's what it looks like. It's an 18650 battery holder with a bunch of button cells in there. There's 23 of them in there to be exact. And I'll show you the voltage in a minute. Okay, so there's my finished pack. Showing 100% on the 67.5 volt scale. I'm sorry I lost that. Holding it one hand, but just trust me. It was 67.5 volt scale. We were at 100. And there she is playing. And I'll show you that it's indeed on battery. As you can see,
And third, I worked with an advanced...
That's beautiful. I love that speedometer, 1950s Chevrolet GM style speedometer. Let me bring you to another room. There's a lot of interference here. I can't play music longer. I'll get a copyright strike.
Of getting diabetes.
Well, yeah, what history does is it takes that problem...
It is definitely a working radio. I think she's absolutely beautiful. What do you think? Tell me in the comments.